The term mediumship, if you look in the dictionary, means something that is in between two things. So basically that's what we are doing when we are doing mediumship, is that we are the in-between receiver of information, and the information is going to be given to someone else usually, although sometimes it's for us. But it's coming from a source that is not on this dimension. It's coming from a deceased loved one, usually. And it can also be an angel or a guide, but we are the in-between translator of this information that's coming from a dimension that we are not part of at this time. So we have to translate that information for the person. The way that information comes through, we talked about that last month. We talked about the clairs. There's clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. Clair just means clear in French, clairvoyance or vision. So you're using your third eye. You're not using your physical eyes. You're using your third eye to see something that isn't there on this dimension. And we are translating that for them. We are saying, I'm seeing your grandmother. She looks to be about, et cetera, et cetera. The person that we're telling doesn't see that, most likely. We are the only ones seeing that, so we have to translate that for the person. The next clair would be clairaudience, clear hearing. And again, it's not the physical ear, it's slightly above in the ear chakra. And what we're doing is we're hearing sounds that the person that we're doing the reading for isn't necessarily hearing. And we're getting messages through words, through the sound of drums, the sound of cars, the sound of some cat crying. You could get a deceased animal, you could hear a cat crying or a dog barking. So that would be clairaudience. Clairsentience is body sensations. It is the ability to receive a feeling in your body that would match the person who has passed. So if someone died of a heart attack, what I feel is pressure in my chest. If it was a sudden heart attack, I feel a pressure in my chest, and then I feel like I go down, like in an elevator, a very fast elevator. It's just momentary, it's very subtle, but that would be my sign for a sudden heart attack. If it was a more prolonged heart attack, I might feel the pressure in my chest, which would mean that the person had time to say goodbye. And so a sudden versus a not so sudden can give you information about how they passed. And other physical sensations, you could get a pain in your knee if you were connecting with somebody that had a very bad knee, and that person that you're getting a reading for would understand that and say, oh yeah, that was definitely my uncle, he got wounded in the war, and blah, blah, blah. So that would have significance to them. A form of clairsentience is empathy, and empathy is the ability to feel the emotions, and that's very common in mediumship. With that, what you're doing is you're picking up on the emotions that the person, the deceased loved one, wants to convey to that person. Perhaps it's love, perhaps it's sadness, perhaps it's a curiosity, an excitement, but it's an emotional quality. And the final clair is claircognizance, and claircognizance is clear knowing. It's sometimes called intuition. It's that ability to know something that you don't know. You just didn't know it, and you don't know how to explain you know it, but you just know that something is true. So all those clairs are used to communicate with those that are not here on this earth plane, and your job is to translate that for the person. Well, we here on this earth plane, we are in this body, and this body has eyes and ears and body sensations and a mind that works. So we are constantly having to differentiate between, is that what I'm seeing or imagining? Is it a daydream? Is it something that I am remembering? Is it my emotions or my body sensation? Or is this really coming from spirit? The term that we use is discernment. You need to learn how to discern between what's coming from spiritual realms and what's coming from the earth plane, your own perceptions. Now, there's other categories that go into that, and we're going to talk about those in a second. But discernment is critically important for all psychics, all mediums, to learn how to do. Without discernment, you can't ever know whether what you're getting or think you're getting is coming from source energy, from a deceased loved one, a deceased pet, coming from an angel, a guide, an ascended master, or whether it's coming from you. So you have to learn this important skill of discernment.